Well, folks, fall is here, and that means winter isn't far behind. So we've got to get ready. So Tuesday, before Billy and I went down to Kentucky to get that new engine for the S10, Kenny got busy cleaning out the lean-to out back to make room for whatever we need to keep underneath the roof to keep the snow off of it this winter. And of course, it's about time to get Mom and Dad's combine fixed up at the farm. It is just about time to run beans again. But for this week, we've got some maintenance to do on the streetcars. We got to get Billy's S10 back together, and we need to get the vintage air kit installed in the C10. Kenny and I were finishing up some maintenance on the Malibu Tuesday morning when Billy pulled in. Once he got here, he had a mountain of work to get done to get that engine ready to set down in his truck. So I hurried up and got the Malibu finished up, got it down off the lift, and backed it out into the yard. Just about the time Paige Ann showed up for her daily ritual. But despite the beautiful weather, she wasn't much in the mood to deal with me.
Don't you have anybody else to harass today?
So I tucked tail, went back out to the shop, and cut this oil filter apart off Billy's new engine. I wanted to make sure if there was anything in it that we caught it before we set the engine down in the truck. Billy decided to go ahead and put a billet milling oil pump in it and swap the oil pan. About the time Robbie came back from Jegs with this double groove water pump pulley that I needed for the 64. So I hopped into Malibu and decided to go down and see Uncle Bucko. I wanted to see how much progress he's made and how things are going with the air conditioning kit in the 64, drop off this pulley, and then I need to get right back to the shop to help Billy with the S10. This is the first major project Jeremy's tackled in his own shop, and I know he's pretty excited about that. Once I dropped the pulley off, I went right back to the shop and helped Billy salvage the billet milling oil pump out of his old engine so he can reuse it on his new one. We're hoping to go ahead and set this engine down in the truck later tonight. What do you got going on there, Squirrely?
Emails.
Emails?
Emails.
Who's in your emails?
Important stuff.
Like what?
I'm approving new designs.
New designs? Wait a minute. Those are my designs. You're approving them?
Yeah.
How's that supposed to work? I'm supposed to approve them.
Well, I like what you did, so I'm approving it.
Well. Listen, I told Gina that chick on that one design's got to get hotter than that.
She told me you said that, and I said, listen, I think that girl was hot enough as it was.
No.
She was tastefully hot.
Nah, well, that might be, but it needs to be a little hotter than that. Look, if she's going to have red hair, she's got to be scorching freaking hot.
She's like a 1950s hot. Classy hot.
What's for dinner tonight?
Chicken and noodles.
Hey, Rob, it's chicken and noodle night.
What? Noodle night?
Chicken and nudes.
Chicken and nudes. Way to a fat man's heart.
Junior, that engine stand looks a little peculiar.
Yeah, something you must have put together 30 years ago.
No. But I've been using it for 30 years. Why is that engine leaning so bad? Like, it looks like it's got a DT466 hanging on it. You think the problem's right here?
Yeah,
That's the problem?
that's definitely. Well, I mean, if you tighten it, it gets better.
It gets better?
Yeah.
Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that there's 2 spacer nuts here and 3 up top?
No, that bolt's a little shorter.
The bolt's shorter.
Shit's me.
I guess as long as it doesn't fall off the stand, we're Gucci. Anyway, it's just about time for dinner anyway. Is it noodle time, baby? June Pup knows it's time to go. So we all went in for dinner and ended up calling it a night after we got done eating. And that's when I get a text from Uncle Bucko that he's headed to Mark's Wednesday morning to, quote, kick him in the nuts.
And here we have a parts guy that doesn't know how to do his job. What'd you do now?
I don't know. I don't think I'm punching numbers in right or something.
Good
I don't know.
grief.
It could be a fat finger thing, and it is. It's an operator error.
For all we know, there's operator error.
There's operator errors all the time.
A lot around here.
Jeremy's given Mark a lot of trouble about this belt situation, and I think it has more to do with the fact that Jeremy measured it wrong.
20 minutes later. Good grief.
Well, if you get the right stuff the first time.
Oh yeah, let's blame it on the customer.
What else do you do? Is this going to finish your job?
No, he's gonna put a new radiator in it too.
Ever since we got this truck running and on the road, it's had a little problem with running hot, especially during the summer months. And I don't think that this air conditioning kit that we're putting on is going to make that situation any better. So first thing this morning, me and my associates hop in the Suburban and head straight to Jegs to see Uncle Terry. He's ordered me in a new radiator and cooling system that he swears is going to do the job. And when I saw the size of the box, I thought, oh my God, I don't even know if this thing's going to fit in the truck. Jeremy's going to shit a chicken when he sees the size of that box.
That's a daily occurrence for Jeremy.
So I load up this new radiator kit in the back of the Suburban, and me and the dogs head back to Uncle Bucko's to drop it off. And I'm starting to get the feeling that Uncle Bucko is getting tired of me dropping in to check on him.
That's for you.
I brought you a radiator.
Oh, yeah?
Let's go get it. I can sense this project is starting to wear on my brother. And I wasn't sure what he was going to think of this radiator kit, especially with how big the box was. I was concerned the damn thing wasn't even going to fit in the core support and fit underneath the hood of this truck. But once we got everything unpackaged and laid out on the table, everything started to make a little bit more sense. So I asked Jeremy if he thought he could get this thing done yet today, and he explained to me that he would.
I will.
We ended up working on Billy's truck until about 4 o'clock in the morning, and then we managed to get right back up that afternoon and got started on finishing this thing up. We managed to get the engine down in the truck. Now all we need to do is put the carburetor back together and put the cold side and the hot side back on it and fire the thing up. I had taken the carburetor apart and soaked it with WD-40 to keep it from corroding because I had no idea how long this thing was going to be down. Once I had it back together, I handed it off to Billy and then went over to the other side of the shop to open up some packages we'd gotten in.
It's a new box
It's for you.
for me. Oh. ATM. Isn't that the new carburetor company? Came with a chart that says what everything is. That's nice. I cannot wait to get that carburetor that's on there off there. Look at that, dude.
What?
It's got your freaking logo on it.
What? What the heck? You're
Holy
shitting
cow.
me.
And on the freaking main body. That's badass.
Come with a.
What?
Got a micro switch on it?
That's sweet.
Holy crap.
No freaking way.
I had talked to Tim Neely at ATM Carburetors about a week or so ago about maybe doing some custom carburetors with my logo, but I had absolutely no idea he would be sending one this quickly. So we're all pretty excited about putting this thing on the Mustang as soon as we get the S10 fired up, checked for leaks, and backed outside so we can bring the Mustang back in. The instant we fired the Mustang up with the new carburetor, we could tell this thing sounded like a totally different car. And it definitely runs good too. So while we're working on the Mustang and the S10 back at my shop, Jeremy is still working on this vintage air kit in the 64. But he's run into some electrical problems, and by the sounds of it, he's looking for someone to blame.
What did you do
Trying,
to this?
you're trying to sell me Chinese stuff that don't work.
What did you do to this?
Good
What
grief.
did you do?
I didn't do nothing.
Yes, you did.
Oh yeah, of course, blame it on me.
Evidently, the new radiator kit didn't come with a relay for the fan, and according to Jeremy, the one Mark gave him didn't work.
You're gonna send me home with the one that didn't work. I think that's a plot.
Well, it wasn't a plot. I wasn't trying to sabotage anything.
Yeah, it's kick Bucko in the
That
nuts week.
happens enough.
So now that Jeremy's got a new relay, he hits Mark up for a temperature
Hey,
sensor.
now I need a temperature sensor. You ain't
Well, I'm
done
working
yet.
on it. No, I know I'm not. Next phase. Phase
Chumpo. What do you want me to do? Solder it in there?
2. Well, you can't do that.
No.
That terminal's not very. That's big enough.
What's the sensor gonna do me a damn bit of good if I don't have a plug?
You can hacker
No.
terminals
we
down
don't
in there.
Hacker. No hackering. Chop chop. Well, you're halfway.
Look at that. Factory sealed connector.
After driving Mark nuts for about 45 minutes at the parts store, none of that stuff actually made it on the truck anyway. Happy birthday, Uncle Rob!
Thank you.
Today's Friday, Robbie's 39th birthday, and to celebrate, Vicky got Cane's chicken and a birthday cake for our shop lunch today. We were all ready to get something to eat about the time Jeremy rolled in with a 64, and that's about the time I lost my appetite when I saw the wiring. Now, if anybody thinks I'm bad at electrical, you should see Jeremy's wiring job.
You pulled it out
No,
there,
I
Rob.
didn't. I picked it up.
I'll kick you to nuts. I don't care if it's your birthday or not.
There was also a slight plumbing problem.
Some skips.
Yeah, let me get that in there for you. I already have it.
After seeing how Jeremy's wired the truck, I decided probably best to ask Rob for help. Hey Rob,
Yeah.
can I pencil you in next week for a week's worth of wiring on my 64? I have a feeling I'm gonna need it. Listen, dude, that thing's gonna catch fire the way it is. I wouldn't drive that thing around the block the way you drove it to A1 this morning.
You said to rig it up temporarily.
I didn't say rig shit. I said don't rig shit.
Let's take a look at your wiring capabilities. Talking
Okay.
about gonna catch something on fire?
Okay, go find me something that's... Wait, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, it's not in there anymore. The phone charger was pretty bad. Hey, that was an emergency.
You got wires hanging out the radio hole.
That's a phone charger. I use that hole to hold my charger cord.
How long did it take Robbie to straighten out the mess on the Malibu?
3 days.
How'd you describe it? Looked like someone wadded a football up and shoved it under the dash? Robbie had to go in and straighten it out in order to get what he had to do done. Because there's a spaghetti bomb underneath the dash
Spaghetti bomb. I like that. Spaghetti bomb.
with meatballs.
You're the meatball.
Be naughty, horse.
So everybody agrees that my new hot chick thing is a lot better than the old mediocre hot chick 50s hot that Vicky said was good?
100%.
100%. The new design is much better.
100%.
Even Harley agrees. Hey, even Harley agrees that my new design is better with the more improved hot chick.
Listen, she was tastefully hot without being too sleazy.
What'd you say, Robbie? Yeah, nobody wants tasteful anymore. Listen, here's what sells. Side boob and butt. Huh? Tell him, hey, Robbie, show him how this girl ought to be.
How she ought to be?
Yeah, stand up and do it.
She ought to be. No, I'm not saying that.
Come on, man.
You just did it. Why don't you do? Let me film you do it.
No, I'm not doing that on film.
Here, let me turn.
You
this
do
on.
it. You do
I
it.
don't know what you're saying.
No, I'll show you. Here, just stick your butt out. Turn side.
No. Here,
What?
Your phone.
No, you're not doing it to me. Here, Jeremy, you do it.
No.
You don't have it anyway. Harley's embarrassed now. June Pup's all stressed out. She's nursing on her
Seriously,
blanket.
what's going on?
The 64's out there on fire.
It is not.
It will be.
Yeah, you're left to it.
Oh my God.
Hot looking over her shoulder.
What else?
Tell him, Robbie.
Just picture it.
Look, hot, looking over her
Yeah.
shoulder, a little bit of side boob.
Yeah, got her hands up on the globe, like, what's up?
Oh,
Yeah, see?
Robbie.
Hands up over the shoulder.
Hey, it's Robbie's birthday. He should get what he wants.
Hands up over the shoulder, scrunchy hair. Yeah.
By Friday evening, Billy had the S10 ready to go out and make a test hit. At the very least, he wanted to back it outside, bring it up on boost, and then drive it up the road to see how the thing runs. Jeremy had dropped off the 64 after he finished his wiring, and as you can imagine, it didn't quite pass inspection. So I brought it in the shop to make a couple little changes for my own peace of mind. Once I got done with that, I took it down to the gas station, topped off the fuel tank, and took it for a quick trip up the highway, just to check out the cooling system and make sure the air conditioning's working as it should. The cooling system is 110% better than what it was, and the heat and the air conditioning will run you out. Outside of a little bit of wiring, Jeremy has done an outstanding job on the installation of the new cooling system and the vintage air kit. Now the only thing we've really got left to do is a stereo system and power steering. Anyway, that brings us to Saturday. The boys asked me to run into Jegs to pick up tires, and Tommy needed a ring filing tool to work on his LS. I really appreciate you getting me my vintage air kit.
No problem.
I got it installed.
I'm glad.
It only took Uncle Bucko about a week.
That's not bad for Uncle Bucko. How many trips to Mark's did he make?
Oh, quite a few. But no, it bolted right up. You did a good job, man,
That's
because
good.
you got me the kit, vintage air kit. But that engine didn't come in that truck. That truck never had a long water pump.
Right, but yeah, but since I was there when the motor went in, I knew it had all that stuff. So when I made the sheet out for vintage air, I just filled it all out. They get it right because they get you the right. Guess the right brackets for a long pump because they're completely, well, you know, they're completely different from a
Right.
short pump to a long pump. and all the right bracketry, because it's a common deal. Swap motors from short to long.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
They got all that stuff there, and when they put it together, they put it together. It's a nice system. It's a
It
really
is.
nice
It
system.
works good.
Yeah,
I got hot heat and ice cold AC.
that's great. Can't be the combination. Kind of like the Malibu.
Once I got done thanking Terry for helping me get that air conditioning system ordered in, he brought my tires out and threw them in the back of the truck for me. Then it was time for me to turn and burn back toward Tommy's house. And evidently I wasn't the only one with the idea of taking an old car out and driving it around in this beautiful weather today. I give it about another week or so and we'll reach peak season for leaves here in central Ohio. Luckily, Vicki and I's got this truck back together just in time to be able to enjoy traveling around a little bit before the snow flies. And although the snow ends our season for cruising and driving and street racing here in Ohio,
Thank you.
you're welcome. It also starts the beginning of build season. Dude, that looks good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Ha ha.
Told me to scrap this thing.
I didn't say that.
No, you didn't, but people were.
People? The peoples are telling you to scrap it?
They were. Not
They
anymore.
were? Not anymore? Maybe after you put that LS in it, you can scrap it. Evidently, Billy and Tommy have been working on the Falcon all day getting it winterized, and they plan on bringing it back to my house this evening to do a little bit more work on it. So I head back to the shop to get things ready and find Vicki and Allison busy out in the shop. What's going on in here? Folding. Do what? What you got, kid? Nice.
Oops, crumbs.
Yeah, Vicky's getting crumbs everywhere. That's sweet. That's news for your channel.
Yep.
Races are won and lost in the shop.
Jeffa quote.
A Jeffa quote.
Show the little secret
Oh,
What
yeah.
little secret?
Gina added Billy's S10 back here.
in the garage.
Nice. Uh-huh.
Oh, I love how they turned out.
Little secret deal back there going on.
Cool Easter egg. And then we got a new logo.
Nice, nice. So where can they go to get these?
Gen2garage.com.
Gen2garage.com.
So while Allison and Vicki are busy folding merch out in the shop, I go ahead and back the Malibu outside to make room in there for the Falcon. That way Tommy can pull it straight in the shop as soon as he gets here. Once we had the Falcon all put away out in the shop, it was time to head in and eat dinner. And as usual, Vicki had knocked it out of the park. All right, everybody, welcome back to the shop. I apologize, it's been almost a week since I put a video up. Unfortunately, the heating and air conditioning project, putting the vintage air kit in the C10, ended up taking a week somehow. And unfortunately, I just don't feel like I can make a video every day or every other day of the ongoing saga of Uncle Bucko and the vintage air kit. But it's up and running now. It works really good. Truck's got excellent heat and excellent air conditioning. I'm really happy with that. But we do have another project I want to do on it here soon. I want to put power steering on it for one. And two, I want to go ahead and replace that 350 engine that's in that truck. It runs just fine. It runs actually pretty decent, but it does have an oil pressure problem, and it's had an oil pressure problem since the day I put it in that truck. And I did replace the bypass spring in the oil pump because it had broken. But unfortunately, I think the damage was already done to the bearings. So it's a little loose. It runs good. It doesn't leak any oil. It doesn't have any blow-by. It doesn't smoke, but it definitely has low oil pressure. So since I would really like to use this thing to tow at least an open trailer to do some traveling, maybe this fall and this winter, and eventually I would like for Vicki to have a merch trailer that she can pull with that truck, an enclosed merch trailer. So I made a post on Facebook yesterday asking if anybody had access to or knew of any 400 small blocks that were for sale. And I got a text message this morning from a friend of mine in South Carolina. And kind of a neat story, and I'll just touch on it for tonight. But he has in his possession, believe it or not, multiple brand new in the box, in the crate, in the original GM crate, 400 small block Chevys, long blocks from GM, okay? Now you might think, nah, there's no possible way. Well, that's exactly what I thought until he sent me the pictures of them today. I intend to build a stock bottom end, because it's stock, it's right out of the crate. Like, this is something that nobody gets the opportunity to do anymore. Build a stock bottom end, 400 small block for a towing application for Vicky's C10. I intend to put a little bit better set of cylinder heads on it, a hydraulic roller camshaft, an intake manifold, of course, 750 Holley carburetor, or maybe an ATM carburetor. And I'm going to do some really cool stuff with this thing. We're going to put a brand new stock bottom end, 400 small block, right from GM. So pretty rare, pretty incredible opportunity really to get my hands on a original 400 small block out of the crate from GM. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it out of the crate, put a set of heads on it, hydraulic roller, and I think I might even take it and get it dynoed and see what the thing makes before we put it in the truck. So in other news, the Malibu is just about ready to make a street hit very soon. I'm going to work tomorrow on hooking up the ignition retard to the Maximizer 5 nitrous controller and get it set up that I can turn both kits on if I want. Right now, I'm not pulling any timing, like I mentioned in the video the other day. On 150 or 100, on a 200 shot, I haven't been pulling any timing. But if I turn both stages of this NX kit on, I'm going to have to pull some. So I need to get that Max 5 hooked to the ignition retard box and get that all set up and get it programmed in the controller. So I'll probably work on that a little bit tomorrow and get that ready. Billy's Mustang's running really good. We put that ATM carburetor on it. I'm really excited about the Old Man's Garage series of ATM carburetors. I'm really excited about that. Done considerable work yesterday tuning that ATM carburetor in for the Mustang. Stick shift cars are very, 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 very tricky, because especially double pumpers, because every time he lets off the gas and shifts the gear, those accelerator pumps dump a lot of fuel down the intake manifold. And that carburetor has 50cc accelerator pumps, which I'm happy about. I like that. But on that specific application, the 50cc pumps, the big pump cams, and the big squirters were a little too much for the little 302. It just kind of drowned it on the gear changes. So I spent yesterday working on that, getting that carburetor dialed in and getting the ignition timing set up right. When we put the new retard box on the Mustang with the knob on the dash, when we put that on, it actually retarded the timing a little bit just with putting the box in without dialing the timing back. Just the addition of the box retarded the timing a few degrees, so I had to turn the timing up and kind of get it readjusted to where I wanted it. Unfortunately, I don't think the balancer on that car is accurate. It has a stock balancer, and I don't trust it. I really need to put a stop bolt in the #1 spark plug and bring it over on #1 top dead and see if the balancer's correct. I haven't had time to do that yet. But the Mustang's run really good. I think he's ready to turn the kit on it and really see what that thing's able to do with that new ATM carburetor. And I'm going to tell you, that thing sounds like a totally different car, and it runs really good. Am I in trouble? Maybe. With the Malibu? I might be. I may be. I don't know. We'll see how things go. I'm not really concerned about it, to be honest with you, because I'm not a Ford guy. I don't like working on Fords for the most part. This is something that Junior wanted to do, and that's fine. But if the damn thing's been in my shop and I've had my hands on it, or if it's been in my family, the damn thing better run. So even though I'm not a 302 Ford guy, if it's in my family, it better be one of the best run 302 small block Ford Mustangs anybody's ever seen if it's been in my shop. So anyway, guys, that's going to about do it for tonight. It's just about time to start running beans, and Jeremy's going to be working on the combine quite a bit here, probably this week, trying to get ready, and I'll be up there trying to help him run beans once he gets it going. So there'll be all kinds of different content coming up here probably this week, but I'll try my best to get back on schedule and start making progress on projects and put up a video at least every other day this week. So that's gonna about do it for tonight, guys. Vicky's got some new merchandise coming up. We'll have that announced probably in another video on Monday. She's got a lot of nice stuff coming. Evidently she's gone ahead and started some things in motion. Some ideas that I had have branched out now from just shirts and signs to coffee cups and mouse pads and just all kind of stuff. So I'll get with her tomorrow and we'll discuss that. But there's some really cool stuff coming. I'm not sure what she's already uploaded and put on the website, but go check it out. See y'all maybe Monday.
You gotta sing.
Oh, we're singing.
We're singing.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Uncle Rob.
Happy birthday to you.
Thanks, guys. Did you make a wish? I did.
Oh,
Okay. See, that's curly hair.
Oh.
In case you're wondering, this is what it looks like when the bean's under the mouth of the Gleaner K.